This week we're going to Tarragona. The daughter of a passionate fan of motorcycles and cars passed away more than 10 years ago. He asked me to show you the collection he left behind. More than 100 vehicles that are now for sale. I'm not connected to the shop. Their contact info and prices are in the video description. Let's see. We always find someone who will take them out for a ride again, respecting their memory. My name is Mark and I love cars. Diadulos, tell me a little about this collection, because I know it wasn't originally yours, now it is, but tell us, where does this collection come from?
This collection is here in Tarragona. It belonged to my father, who passed away 10 years ago, and he created it, starting from scrap. He always tried to repair them until the motorcycle looked just like it originally did.
And for many years he built this collection. Many years?
Many, many years. This was his hobby. He wasn't someone who liked to go out. His hobby was to get up in the morning and try to make one or a little bit, and little by little until he finished it.
And what would be your dream? What would you like to happen with these motorcycles?
To the family's dream. It would be for the whole collection to go to one person, to one entity, but that's not possible. It just can't be.
The initial idea would be
that it could go to a family or to an entity altogether.
And this is the idea from Mark's garage, that we want to help Maria Dolores so she can find an owner for all these motorcycles. And also for all these cars, except for the white seat S600, which is going to a sister. So no, that one is not for sale, but everything else is for sale. So let's talk to Joan. He's a friend of mine, a well-known motorcycle collector, maybe one of the most important here in Catalonia, and I would say in Spain. And he's going to explain a little bit to us. And he shakes his head, no, he's not going to explain to us. We're going to look at the motorcycles in general, and then the one that Joan likes the most, he'll explain and tell us the story of that motorcycle. What do you think? Let's do that. I'm not going to talk to you anymore.
It's a fairly unique and little-known motorcycle from the brand Rattier, which is a manufacturer of... In 1904, they were manufacturers of wooden airplane propellers. Before this motorcycle arrived here, you'll notice it's very similar to a BMW in engine design, even sharing parts with 1972 BMW models. After the 1940s, this motorcycle. In 1959, this company bought Cemec, and Cemec was a French company that was established in 1945 to collect all the German military vehicles that were left in the towns and throughout the country, accumulated, left there, obsolete, damaged. Anyway, the French government organized a company, Cemec, and they gathered all this group. I don't know if it included vehicles too, but motorcycles. They grouped everything together and formed a company. This company began making motorcycles using leftover parts from Germany, mainly BMW. Can you find a Cemec, which are absolutely first series BMWs? And even so, they kept evolving until they got here, and this motorcycle still has a bevel gear type of transmission, hydraulic gearbox, shifter, many parts in common with the old BMWs from the 1930s. Production of this motorcycle ended in 1966. They were motorcycles, I think they only made about 1,200 units, And above all, they were used by traffic agents or for official purposes. Do you see it has a short seat for the little box where they carried their things? But basically it was a motorcycle.
That was the motorcycle that pulled you over for speeding on the highway?
It could, because of the motorcycle it could, but anyway, this is where it ended. Like almost all French brands, they also disappeared in the mid-60s. And it's curious.
I see we have an Aural behind us. What can you tell us about this bike? Because it has the sidecar and everything. It's very interesting. This bike, it comes with war helmets. Could you put one on to talk about this? Doesn't he want to wear a helmet? Ha ha ha. Explain to us. What can you tell us about this bike?
This Aural came out. The first Aurals were made in 1946 and come from a project that originated from a BMW model, which was the Model 71. The engine type remains the same, with blocks and cylinder heads, and is nearly identical to the BMW 71 Model 12 and somewhat like the 61. And this one, even though it's a version from the 60s, still has that classic look of a vintage motorcycle, very similar to the military BMWs. Interesting that it has the national license plate.
Yes, a Tarragona license plate. Also, yes, a Tarragona license plate. That's even more interesting.
You guys are watching Mark's Garage. A bit of the history of the Jawa, if you take a look at it.
Which ones are the Javas from?
That's right, the 2 and the 3.
There you have one to restore, which would be the 56 and these 2. Aren't there 3 here? Oh, here are 3, the 57, 56, and 55,
And here are 2 more.
They're the same model, no.
They have different engine sizes. The B10 has a twin cylinder. When the National Motorcycle Collector sees these Javas, he'll notice they closely resemble a Spanish motorcycle. And that's because Derby took a Java in the 1950s, and you could say they almost copied it exactly. So if you look at the motorcycles, collectors will see that the Spanish brands are almost identical. Many of them took already existing motorcycles for their first models and manufactured them with many similarities. And Jawa, which is a Czech motorcycle and is hard to find here, but it's curious that it's like a Derby.
Let's see which model we have. I need to check myself. Yes, it's a Jawa. It's 175 cubic centimeters from 1958. They're practically the same, one and the other, aren't they?
This one has an engine output. This one has 2 cylinders. They have 19-inch rims. It's a bit different. The frame, this one is older. I'd say it's older.
1948, and this one, I said it before, 1958, exactly 10 years apart. This isn't a cool bike, it's sunglasses in this iconic 70s color.
This is a Sunglass with a Yamaha engine. The bike can be either a Sunglass or a Yamaha. This is when Yamaha started collaborating with Sunglass. And this is a Yamaha Sunglass 4-cylinder, but the mechanics are absolutely Yamaha.
They're both the same, right?
The other one is a domestic motorcycle. They had to sell imported motorcycles, and in the 1970s, Japanese brands began acquiring Spanish brands. Honda bought Montesa, Yamaha bought Sunglass. Now I don't know about the others, but all of them were like that. Kawasaki bought Derby. They all integrated to enter the market as if they were domestic motorcycles. Some were even partially assembled here to be able to sell in Spain, and this was pretty much the beginning of the end for most Spanish brands.
Is that why you said it could be a Yamaha? No?
No, it's just that it's Yamaha mechanics.
Or a Sunglass, because it was all Yamaha mechanics. The other one looks much bigger, doesn't it?
It's not just a 400 monologue, there were 500 too. This is the classic Sunglass with some changes, but it's still the standard one made here.
This motorcycle is made in Gijón. What brand is it, Joan? A Lube? A Lube?
I said Gijon, but I'm not sure. Just know it's from that area.
If I'm wrong, blame Joe, not me, okay?
Attractive motorcycle for its time, huh?
Interesting design, right? But it's not the kind of motorcycle I would buy. I'm not crazy about motorcycles. Today I'm making a video that usually El Chatarrero does, huh? And I'm the one doing it, so let's see if he's going to get mad at me, huh? This Ducati motorcycle is made here in Spain, huh? Yes, really, yes.
A Vespa from 1958. With standard restoration.
Yes.
A motorcycle that needs work, but... well, a nice one.
The license plate doesn't match the year, 58. It's a Vespa S Series 3. And yes, it says it's restored, but well, it has its little dents here and there. It's not, it's what I call a facelift with a very nice patina. You like them, right?
No.
Do you like it, Joan? Yes. These bikes, according to Joan, are converted for classic trial. That's what transforms them. They transform them completely. You know? There are cars where the same thing happens. I see it has the original patina, right? It looks like it's not, yes, it's been repainted, yes, no, this color, no, besides they've done it in this military shade. The license plate isn't local either. Then right here next to it, we also have this one with this really curious license plate. To lay the eggs, go pick them up there in the barn and take a walk around the village. What motorcycle is this, Joan? Is it a Francoist motorcycle? Well, yes, now we get it if this is what the French did. Ah? What? On your side we have a landfill. It looks very old, this 48 bike, yes, exactly, it has this old look. And really for its year, you can tell. I imagine the engine displacement is fine. Yes, 100 cubic centimeters, a small displacement. Here we have a little motorcycle from 48, 175 cubic centimeter engine. As you can see, even back then it was already a big engine. Also with a foreign license plate. It looks cool, huh? Its skin has a nice sheen. I know it's not for you, because if you see this gentleman's bikes, let's see if someday he'll let us see them. You'll be amazed. Anyway, Suzuki motorcycle, it's the Grand Touring 50 model, a bike from the 70s. Interestingly, this one is from 1979. And forgive me if I'm wrong or not, I just show the things that need to be shown, because you know motorcycles aren't really my thing. This is a Derby Antorcha from the 60s. I have one in my warehouse too. I have it. For decoration, really. Guess which motorcycle I would choose out of all these? Well, yes, the NSR you saw at the beginning. This is the one that reminds me of my youth. I couldn't get that motorcycle because my parents wouldn't let me, but I'd be excited to have an NSR. It was 80 cubic centimeters, but it felt like a real bike. This is the one I like most. Are we seeing more bikes, or are you tired of them? Seat 600D from 66. I have one just like it. Mine is a little more modern, from 69. That was the last year before it switched to the 600 model. Let's take a look at this car so you can see it. It comes with the full bar-fine patina. It comes with some covers, and from what I can see, it's missing the gear knob and the pedal plastics. They've fallen off. License plate from Tarragona. The mileage is about 97,000, but that's not the main thing. It's a color like this, a dark orange color. This car has papers. This car has papers and... Oh. Is there rubber on the back or not? There's no rubber, so be careful when leaning it on glass. The engine is the original 766 cubic centimeters with its expansion tank. Here, this car needs a thorough check as it appears unused for years. Here next to it is a Ford, and if I'm correct, it's from the 1930s, possibly 1932 or 1933. Ford. And they left the doors open, and as you can see, they've sagged. It's a shame. Now they would need to be adjusted again. Bakelite steering wheel. This car seems like it was in the process of being finished, of being restored. That's the impression I get because it doesn't have the roof on yet, along with the wooden frames. And did the same thing happen on the other side, since the door is also hanging? No, this one can close, I think. No, this car doesn't close either. It needs a little bit of love. One more. And if you want, let's take a look. The engine, a very small engine, small block. I see that something is missing here. A small piece of paper covers the carburetor to keep dirt out, since the filter cover is missing, and the engine is very small. I don't know what the engine displacement was, but it's very, very, very small. The engine doesn't turn yet from what I can see. Let's try to close it. And next to us we have a Renault 4X4. Many of our grandparents had this type of car. This car from 58 has no papers. I see that the interior is completely new. It still has its new covers on. Yes, it's beautiful right here underneath. The roof is a stitched roof too. It's very well maintained. This vehicle is missing the front bumper, and I see it has a blown tire in the back. Yes, absolutely. You can see it here. It's also missing the bumper, but I see that both bumpers are back here, so it's an easy thing to put on. Let's check the engine. Maybe a French license plate. And well, let's close it. Here we have a Spanish Mini, a Mini 850. The model itself tells you the engine displacement of the vehicle. These cars were made here in Spain. The interior is pretty decent. It's hard to get in without hitting the car next to you. But under the dust here, I think there's a good paint job. Trunk. We're not going to show this car because, as the lady says, it belongs to one of the sisters. Next to it, we have a 1960s Gordini. This car has papers. Here, it also has all new seats. As you can see, they're covered with their seat covers. All the upholstery is finished, and I love how the roof looks. The steering wheel. It has the typical cracks from the age, from the 60s. All this kind of material, the bakelite would crack, and this is very easy to fix. You fill it with a bakelite liquid, fill it in, and then paint it, the steering wheel. Well, you also have to sand it, right? But it's nice. This car has its charm, especially when it comes to opening and closing the side vents. Very racing, the style it has. And the back of the Gordini is beautiful. It was a car that in the 60s in Spain was very popular. Its Repsol can right here next to it, very typical, with its spare spark plugs. This was very typical of the time. I also think the paint is pretty good, but since it's so dusty, you can't really appreciate it. But it's a car that's in very good condition paint-wise. I see that the chrome parts would need to be redone because they weren't done at the time. The tires are completely ruined from sitting for so long. The car hasn't been running and there's no air in them, so they've broken and gotten damaged. Unfortunately, the same thing happened to this 600, to this 600. Besides the rust it has, which is more than just rust, it's already perforation. This seat 600 is a little older than the other one. It's from 1964. It has papers. It's a D. We know it's a D by the way it opens. They called it the Mirabragas. And why did they call it Mirabragas? Well, because when a woman was driving it and got out, you can imagine what the men standing around would do when she got out. That's why they called it the Mirabragas. Today, this would be strongly disapproved of. The interior has the original seats, and here it has some covers that have been put on, but underneath are the vehicle's original seats. The car's a little bit customized with unrelated gauges. From what I see, I don't know if it was shown. I hope so. I've also noticed something odd. The rear view mirror isn't original. But one curious thing at the back is that you can see that to light up the license plate, it doesn't have just one but two. Also quite curious, an engine that doesn't even reach 600 cubic centimeters. I imagine that the expansion bottle was added later. I think this bottle wasn't in these cars from those years. Oops. Wait, does it have a setting to vent more? What happened is that I didn't see it had a way to vent more. See? And this, when they got hot, because they get really hot, this is so the hot air can escape better, more quickly. This was very typical at the time. to put these kinds of things so the car wouldn't get so hot. The 600cc engines are very prone to overheating. Even if you drive very slowly, the slower you go, the more the car heats up. An Auto Bianchi with Tarragona plates. We have in the papers that it's an Auto Bianchi from the 60S, but that's not correct. This is an Auto Bianchi from 82 or 83, around there, a car of which very few units were sold in Spain. National license plate. Piano I, do you have one? I think the paint, this paint is original. We're looking at a car with original paint. The interior is also original, with quite a bit of wear when you get in. And it's rolled over. You see, it has 602 kilometers. You guys, and what do you do when you come to see a collection that they want to sell all together? Well, what I told this lady is that you can't sell everything together because it's impossible. We have some cars that are for a car collector. I would sell the whole package of cars together. Then we have three sections of motorcycles. We have what are the motorized bicycles, the bicycles that are back there. You guys and the motorcycles, there are a lot of them. I would sell them to another group, and then I would sell what are the motorbikes. Really, right? This type of motorcycle isn't big. I mean, we actually have 4 types of customers. Hold on, he already wants to start. Joan. Watch out for my motorcycle, okay? Bam. My name is Mark and I love cars.